Before we start, subscribe to MMA Field. First story. Justin Gaethje says Colby Covington sucks to watch but admits he's a great fighter. He'd probably beat me. Justin Gaethje believes it sucks to watch Colby Covington but does admit he's a great fighter. Gaethje is coming off a victory over Michael Chandler back in November of 2021 at UFC 268. Justin Gaethje spoke on a Full Send podcast interview leading up to his UFC 274 title fight, saying this about Colby Covington: "I would love to punch a hole in that motherfucker's face. So you have respect for how fake one can be. I don't like him. He talked about Kamaru's family a lot. He was around me one day, we went to a Trump rally and he was respectful, like you say. And right when we left he got on the internet and started talking shit. So I don't respect that. If you've got something to say it to my face. And it's just fake, he's trying to bring attention to himself. And I get it, like, I make money with my fighting, he makes money with his mouth. If he wanted to make money off his fighting he'd be a broke motherfucker." Continuing, when asked if he respected Colby's fighting ability, Gaethje said, "I think he's a great fighter. But he sucks to watch. But yeah, if I fought him in the cage he'd probably beat me, because of his size and his ability to move forward and to grapple. But in a street fight, there's no fucking chance. Because in a street fight I'd grab a brick and hit him in the fucking head. Yeah, can't do that in this sport. There's rules here. You got rules in this sport and in the street there are no rules. I think the only rule is don't hit somebody from the back, so I'm definitely on his side when it comes to what happened with Masvidal. I think that was a bitch move. But I like Masvidal more."
Talked about Kamaru's family a lot.
Right, okay, I forgot.
He was around me one day. We went to a Trump rally, and he was there, and he was respectful, like you said. And then right when we left, he got on the internet and starts talking shit. And so I don't respect that. I don't respect, like, if you got something to say it to my face. And it's just fake. He's just trying to bring attention to himself. And I get it. Like, I make money with my fighting. He makes money with his mouth. If he wanted to make money on fighting, he'd be a broke motherfucker. And that's just the name of the game. He'd be fired. They were going to fire him. And then he started talking out of his ass. So I give him credit for bringing that up and making it work. I think he's a great fighter. Well, it sucks to watch. But yeah, I think if I fought him in a cage, he'd probably beat me because of his size and his ability to move forward and his ability to grapple. But in a street fight, there's no fucking chance. Street fight, I'd grab a fucking brick and hit him on the head. Yeah, can't do that in this sport. There's rules here. We got rules in this sport, and in the street there is no such thing as rules.
Right.
I think the only rule is don't hit someone from the back. So I'm definitely on his side when it comes to what happened with Masvidal.
Right.
I think that was a bitch move.
Yeah.
But I like Masvidal more.
Thanks to Bob.
Once again.
Second story. The world knows Deontay Wilder for the iconic slugfests he enters in all of his fights. Over the past decade, Wilder has garnered immense attention from fans and fighters around the globe with his astonishing knockout wins. That said, he redefined the heavyweight division that craved intimidating fighters like him. But, in the last few years, Wilder has not only worked on his boxing prowess. He has also honed his talking game. 3 years ago, the Bronze Bomber came up with the most sensational one-liner, "till this day," which eventually broke the internet. This line was used in many memes and funny music videos later. But why did the ex-champ use this line? Wilder was in an interview ahead of his first fight with Tyson Fury in 2018. In that conversation, a journalist questioned the Bronze Bomber about his statement on the struggles of black people. Joe Rogan interviews the journalist Radio Raheem to react about it.
In Yellow Springs, Ohio, I was able to sit down with these people, and they were so gracious to talk to me about that very same subject, the fight inside them. And I created this show. You'll love the title. Till this day.
Yeah, we talked about it. For people who don't know why Till This Day is interesting, there's a very famous interview that you did with Deontay Wilder where you were trying to get Deontay to elaborate on things, and he, for whatever reason, because he was upset and he was, getting ready for a fight and fired up, he had decided that he was gonna explain to you
Yeah.
what it's like to struggle as a black man in America, that till this day you're like, yeah, I know, I'm just trying to get you to talk. and so he's like yelling at you that we're going to this day, and you're like, yeah.
You know, it's funny because now with this a bit longer view of it and the events that happened the other night, I got a lot of death threats from that. Like, you know, I joke about the celebrities and shit that were mad at me.
Wait a minute, you got death threats from that interview that you did with Deontay?
Oh, are you kidding me?
Really?
Yes, absolutely. You know, I had to take that in stride because I didn't take it that seriously.
Right.
But to this day, I still get inboxed, like, you know, threats. People took that moment to think that I was some kind of Uncle Tom, or I was, you know, trying to pretend as though slavery didn't exist or something ridiculous like that.
It was so obvious that you were just trying to get him to expand on his feelings. Like, it's like, that's his face. We talked about it the last time you were here, but that interview was.
But for people who don't know,
classic.
it's like now, I'm the renowned Uncle Tom. Like that one moment can define how somebody sees you forever. And it's not about me, right? Like, they hate whatever they believe in Uncle Tom represents to them.
Right.
And then they think, okay, well, in that moment, man, that guy, he is that. So I am going to aim all my negativity and hatred and visceral fucking comments his way.
Yeah.
And it takes one moron. That's not me. Like, whatever this person's built up in his head about who I am or what I mean to him, I have no idea that's happening.
Right.